We have the North team with us today, JJ Turk and Nick Buse. Did I pronounce
No,
that
let's
right?
not refer to it as North and South anymore. Let's
Yeah,
just
it's just
refer
the
to
X
it as
Insurance team.
X
I love
Insurance
it.
11 boat, baby.
I like it much better. What do you think, Dick? No? You don't love it? You don't love it?
Oh, Nick, he's like, I can't hear Dick.
Technical difficulties.
They're struggling.
I got my phone on Do Not Disturb, but the calls still come through. I don't know what to do with this thing.
Hey,
I
we
asked
see
my
you
daughter,
still.
and she said you could put it on sleep instead of Do Not Disturb.
Okay, let me try that.
I'll do the same thing because I got it on Do Not Disturb, but I'm going to put it on sleep too because that was not cool.
That's why these are good practices.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, JJ sideways now.
Oh, no. Just leave it however you're up, Bray.
I just changed something. So we'll see if it's better now.
Slide back
I got a
little bit there, Park. You look like you're, you know, a rabbit in his hole.
I was about to
barely
I was
hear
about
you
to turn in
guys.
my reward. I was about to turn my reward in for fighting in the Sasquatch.
Okay, so I'm not sure Nick and JJ know, but we have a podcast called I Hate Insurance, and I'm the insurance preacher. So we've invited our favorite team. I got in trouble last year for being accused of liking the underdog, and the other guys were like, why aren't we the underdog? And I was like, I'm glad I created a little incentive there for you. So anyway, we're now getting rid of the North and the South boat. The Victory will be number 10, I believe, if they get it registered and everything. And the MTI, Nick and JJ, will be referred to as the 11 boat. So we're looking forward to St. Pete. Yeah. We had a good year last year, worked out all the bugs, and I think these guys are ready and excited.
Yeah, come back out, get the girl ready, and let's go have some fun with it. I think we learned some stuff last year. We basically just set out to get the boat back to the dock every year, bottom side down, and I think we accomplished that and got a little better at each race.
JJ tried to flip it a couple times.
I'll take that.
Just to spin out.
I'll take
Parker keeps posting that. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you get mad?
Yeah, I know. I thought we were buddies. I don't know what happened for her.
Maybe it was Zip Zap Power. They were the ones posting it.
That's not me.
You know, going back to last year, not only was that a great opportunity, but what an experience for me and Nick, especially from, running 5 boat, Mod V. Nick was in the 7 boat, broke his back, racing my son and everybody else to get where we're at today, with the turbine behind us and 11 behind us. What was your favorite part of 2025, you guys?
25.
I mean, I like seeing the team come together, but one of the coolest things was the dam to dam run. I think that's, you guys did it like by the seat of your pants. We pretended like we planned the day before.
Like we planned it.
And then at 10 o'clock at night, we're running around trying to get jet fuel, or you'd have never done it. And I think it's going to be hard for somebody to beat. But, the whole year was good, getting the boat, like Nick said, to the end of each race and getting the experience under your belt. It was definitely a huge opportunity for all of us, and I appreciate your guys' love and support. Most people in the boat industry don't love and support other people, so it's refreshing.
Well, we all do this to have fun, so it's got enough drama and stress as it is, and day-to-day stuff that goes on. So anytime we can just get at the end of it and have some fun and put a smile on all of our faces, and 100%, as Rick said, it was great to see the whole team come together. I mean, I think at the beginning of the season, the man here on the podcast with the big hat kind of sat us all down in the trailer and threw it out there and goes, bluntly, you fuckers figure it out. And I think it all grew from there.
That's good.
Also, you forgot, he said, there is no B team. Whatever you guys want, get it. You guys are all equals and start from today. So that's what we did. And we needed help, obviously, along the season, chewing up some parts here and there with the boat, figuring it out. And we had help from the other teammates along the way. Um, and, that dam run was incredible because that night, me being always the worry wart, I'm like, Nick, we ain't ready for this. We lost Rick halfway through the scouting mission. We yeah, it's the shootout weekend. You couldn't pick a more busy weekend to try to do a run in your life. I mean, you couldn't do it. That's like unbelievable. And then to have a flawless boat that ran perfect and never missed one of those coves. That
No.
was I didn't blow by that skater chute at 150 miles an hour when they had their helicopter out and catch, a nice little air right there in front of them on the way in to set the record. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, everything came together for sure. I mean, it was, to pull that off and not have debris or a failure with a propeller or anything. Everything was just, it worked out perfectly. You know,
Yeah, that was neat.
um, I remember getting up there, I was looking at the clock when we were turning the boat around, and we could tell we were way ahead of schedule and everything was going good. And then we turned that boat around and came back on plane. And remember, JJ, we couldn't see.
Uh-oh.
My
Yeah, it
phone.
was so we had, what do we have? One, two, we had four people in the boat, correct?
Shannon, he did
We
the
had
monster round.
Well, we had Shannon in there,
Aaron
and then
was
we
the
had
runner that
and then we
everyone
had
made fun
Jamie in
of.
there, and we used all six eyeballs the whole time.
Yeah,
And
the whole
honestly,
time.
I wouldn't want to do it without that many people helping. It was I mean, you could do it, but with that glare and the debris and the boats, uh, it was unbelievable how long we went with no visibility coming back. I mean,
Oh,
we
we were
probably
just looking
spent
at the side of
15
the window.
minutes at 160 miles an hour. We could only see fractions of what was ahead of us here and there.
Yeah, looking at the GPS line and looking out the side windows and,
Yep.
listening to Rick, we're clear. And it's like we were running blind for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. But on the class one, I think my favorite part of the year was the the amount of improvement that we had as a team in Chicago when we set the boat down and ran it, and we were just clicking.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, okay, we can actually run with these guys and bring the boat back safe. And I mean, we must have turned it up a couple notches for sure from prior race. We learned a lot in Michigan City, I would say. That was our big learning curve.
Yeah. Every race we progressed and we got better. I mean, somebody put a thing on the Facebook the other day I seen, and I entered. It was humbling. Very one word is humbling. To come from the class 7 and then you and I in the 5 boat and then the mod V. And I explain to people, I try to, you know, impress them, whatever you want to explain to people. Jumping into the class 1 boat, everybody talks about the first corner of a race. Your first race, your first corner is where reality sets in. Whether it was in the 7 boat with Owen, whether it was in the mod V or the 5 boat with JJ. But the class 1 boat was a completely different animal. As everybody knows, they're extremely faster, which was really cool. You're run 150 mile an hour into a corner. But when you get to that corner and you're stuck in all these rooster tails and you cannot see boats, that
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. I mean, the Mod V, the 5 boat, and the 7 boat, you see all the boats on the course. You see the boats and whether in front of you, next to you, whatever. The class 1 boat, all you see is rooster tails. And
Yeah. It's
for
just
JJ
white
and I,
out.
we've been in those rooster tails and it's like, seems like eternity. You cannot see anything out the windshield. So
And
it's
it was
humbling
just
for sure.
me and Nick talk a lot in the boat, mostly about how, going faster, this and that. And when we get in those whiteouts, Rick, and we're in a corner and everybody's arcing in, we don't just stay in it and just think our arc's going to still be there where it was. We would pull back and be cautious because we didn't want to run through the side of another 45, 50-foot boat at 130, 40 miles an hour and end the
Right.
season right away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we gave up time a lot by being cautious and being courteous and trying our best not to make enemies and bring the boat back. And this year's way more of a opportunity to be more aggressive. And with the upgrades and things Gene's been doing and the things we've been talking about, it's going to be fun to get back in the boat. I wish we had a little
Yeah.
more time before this race so we could show what we can do. Because every time we get back in the boat, it's like feels like the first time, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And everybody talks about testing and stuff, and I mean, testing's it's
can
a
be
tough one.
overrated.
It can it's good. Trust me, it's needed. It's nice to have. But every time you light the fuse on one of those motors, is one less time it's going to go. And
Yeah,
do I think it would have been nice to do some testing in the off season? Yes, um, but I also feel that the testing, unless you're put into a race situation, you're not going to go out there and put that boat around the corner as,
yeah,
as aggressively you would in a race situation. There's just no need to take the risk.
we learned
So,
that.
so you try to save those times for the crucial times. Try to put it into the corner when it's hard, or put it into the corner hard when it's need be, not just for testing purposes. And our boat, it's a proven fact. I think we do have an extremely fast boat. I mean, Rick has asked all of us what boat, during this transition from north, south, and whatever you want to call it, it's been mentioned, hey, which boats do y'all want to run? And I think JJ, Gene, and myself have all kind of like, we like the boat we have. It's great. Everybody likes the Victory. Don't get me wrong. It's the boat to have, whatever. But I think we can go out there and hurt some feelings with this boat. It's
It's
proven
kind
to
of
be
more of our
fast in this.
style.
It is. It's proven to be
We're,
fast in straightaways. And we have definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, gotten it faster in the turns. So,
yeah, and it's rowdy,
Well,
that boat.
I think the most important, or not important, but interesting thing is, again, I got in this. I mean, I've always boated, but racing, I wasn't. I did motocross and stuff as a kid, but got into the boat racing. Sponsored different boats. We're selling the first MTI that was flipped by Alex and Jennings. What was Jennings' first name?
Miles.
Miles.
Miles, yeah. I like Miles.
So do I.
Anyway, so then this boat, the MTI, was like a find, right? Randy Kent found it, and it was the fastest boat, good pedigree, won championships, and I just remember being either sold or talked into it. I'm not sure which, but this MTI was the boat, right? And I think you guys have scared everybody because everybody knows it's fast, right? And I think the number 6 is on it with the rudder. Again, the corners is something that you work on, but I think it can win as much as the MTI. The MTI, proven, fixed. Gene's done a great job, and Al, who did the fiberglass work, and the whole team. And I think we feel good about it. But, then you get the history, politics, drama, whatever you want to call it, of, Bill saying he can win, right? He's going to kick everybody's butt in the MTI. And then they go out, and, there's a lot of drama. Gene, and you guys know about it. I don't know how to explain it all, but obviously.
You mean the Victory?
Yeah, well, no, because, basically Bill took over the MTI
Oh, that's right.
prior year and was going to kick everybody's ass with it. And then when, it didn't perform, he apologized, which he did with the Victory this past year too. But, we needed the Victory. Right. This was the secret boat stashed away, and, we're going to kick everybody's ass. And then my comment about liking the underdog and them taking it the wrong way. And I mean, there were just lots of back and forth. So again, to me, this is the perfect setup. You couldn't make this stuff up. You got, Billy Moore, world champion, ran DeFalco's boat, last 2 years, kicked everybody's ass. And, now he's in the out-of-pocket X boat, X Insurance, other Class 1 boat, lined up against you guys. And, both of them, I think, are competitive boats. I don't know which one's better. I know that, last year we rushed to put the tunnel tab on the Victory because that's what they needed to win. And basically, I don't even think they came close in any of the races, especially in Key West. But again, last year I told both teams, whatever you want, I don't want to be the reason that you fail. So again, I think that both the boats, from what I know, have great pedigree, great history. It's a matter of making them consistent, and you can't do that in one season, right? DeFalco, 3 years, 4 years, right? And with Billy Moore, world champion, and he knows those boats. So, I'm excited about both teams. I think Kevin, the new driver with Billy Moore, and really my partner in that boat, they've been practicing and getting it dialed in. So I know they're excited, and we're really excited for this coming weekend. And I think it's, going to be a great team environment. They told me that they're parking both our Class 1 boats next to each other in the pits, which, going into each race, you Key West, we kind of know there. I've been there 5 years. You guys have been going there forever. So, and we know the people. And again, I'm pretty sure that, they'll treat us the same way they've treated us in the past as we'll do to them. And all of our boats will be able to be together in one pit. And I think that's kind of the thing that'll make it more spectator friendly, better events for not only the teams, but for the spectators too, and VIP guests that we want to bring, and kind of change what we've done historically going forward. But both boats are awesome. I think they're the best. And then, one of the things that came up after Key West was we were going forward with the old team. They wanted to change from the out drives to number 6s. So, when I heard them say that, I was like, oh, shit, here we go again. And, again, they got to the point of saying, oh, no, it doesn't hurt it. Won't. I'm like, doesn't that hurt the boat drilling holes in it and doing all that? Oh, no, it's fine. And, then they tried to line it up, and you can't put them in there. The tunnel's not wide enough or too wide or something. So that kind of died on the vine. And anyway, it's been a big stretch.
Who do you guys think your biggest competition is this season? Who do you think's
ourselves?
Yes.
I think everybody's come out is going to be strong this season.
They always were strong, right?
You're at the biggest class. You're at the fastest.
How many people are racing, Nick? How many teams in Class 1?
I know there's a couple of new
Key West.
For St. Pete, I'm not sure. I think there's a couple new teams coming out. You've got
the Doug Wright as well.
You got the Dave Scott's old boats coming out with Reese Langham in it, which is they'll come strong.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
What boat is that? An
that's
MTI,
a Mystic, correct?
What is it?
That's the
it's Mystic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Mystic. It's a 50 Mystic.
It's a 50 Mystic. It's going to be black now.
It's the one that he converted was it converted from turbines to QC4Vs, and then they had a custom paint job put on it?
Line. Sorry.
Yeah, you're back.
Adam and Reese are going to be running that both. Be good. You got the out of pocket. You got Bill, and Bill's coming out. We all know how Pyburn is going to be. He's going to be coming out strong. He's got a great team behind him. With Bobby and all them guys, TJ, Bobby, all them guys. Them guys are dedicated to this stuff.
Yeah, they're fearless on any kind of setup.
You got Billy Moore's going to be putting it. He's got an army of people behind him as well. So these are all, strong teams. And
you can't forget around Willie and JT. Holy smokes!
Oh, you got Johnny Tomlinson. Now you're putting. Last year was so cool. If there was, one of the nicest things that last year was like JJ and I talked about. We're hanging out in the pits with Johnny Tomlinson. We're hanging out in the pits at the cranes with the big dogs. And I'm thinking to myself, that's JT standing here. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting on a bumper trying to stay out of the sun with JT. And had the opportunity. The one race at I forget. I think it was MCon. I don't recall, but I think it was MCon. One of the races, JJ. We were coming into the corner, and they kind of took it. They took it a little straight, and we had to straighten the boat up. Consequently, there's a lot of videos that surfaced around from JT's team that looked like we cut him off. Okay.
Yeah.
When in fact, I mean,
It was
doesn't matter.
Willie. I think it was Willie that came out
It was
wide.
Willie. It was Willie that came out wide. Listen, there's
Yeah.
a lot of shit going on in the corners. Okay. But
Yeah.
from a camera angle, it looked like, we cut over and
Well,
whatever. But I'm thinking
we
to
were
myself,
on a 145-mile-an-hour slide. Let's
yeah,
not
we're on
act
a
like we
slide.
weren't.
Yeah. And after the race, I went over to Johnny and I said, man, I am so sorry. But I'm thinking to myself, we just cut Johnny Tomlinson off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God.
And then we never saw him again.
And he's like, Nick, and he goes, Nick, I know the boat you're in. I know how he goes, it's not you guys. And, we going back with that kind of stuff, we spun the boat out in Osage Beach. Okay. And everybody's coming up to me going, Nick, you got to slow the boat down. You got to give JJ something to drive. And I'm like, okay. I was probably a little aggressive. My first race, whatever. And went through the next race. And, when JJ and I first, I'm going to kick back a second, when JJ and I first went up to Mark Twain Lake and we're testing the boat, JJ and I are putting this thing into the corners, and it's like, this thing's freaking radical. We would sling ourselves sideways in the boat. JJ and I are cramped over in one side, and the thing just hooks like a Formula One boat. And we're thinking, this thing's insane. And we thought it was normal. Well, it wasn't normal. It was just the boat. And going into a couple of races.
And I have zero cat experience. Nick builds them's been in them. I'm like, is this normal? Because this don't feel right to me, buddy. And
poker runs,
remember, we had all that weight up front too.
We had weight in the front of the boat.
And we got rid of that every time we got rid of. Yeah, I mean, what a learning curve, buddy.
Oh, it was, and race
freezing
by
cold
race,
Mark Twain.
Oh yeah,
45-degree water by ourselves, no safety. And first time, go for it, guys.
Yep, we just and every race it got a little better and a little better, and we kind of decided at that point, let's work on making the boat turn a little better. So we made some adjustments, made some changes, and it proved out and it worked out in our favor, and the boat is getting more and more better for us.
Gene's theory was right. We wanted to do all this. You like to make everything badass and touch everything we can, just like Bill does, and just like all the guys. And he was like, "You're not ready until you show me you can drive this boat. We're not spending money. We're not doing anything. You figure this thing out, and then we'll go from there." And we didn't like that.
We took the year. And we got
we didn't like that at all, honestly. And then he was right though. When we got in after Michigan City, is when he's like, "All right, these guys they're ready.
We're
starting to be ready."
And we got a good baseline for the boat. But the whole year, as you look at it, race by race, was just it was awesome. It was great. I mean, like I said, we're hanging out with the top dogs, and and above all, like JJ said earlier, we didn't want to be, I'm not gonna say in anybody's way, but we didn't want anybody to think we were going to play dirty or cut people off. So we tried to run some clean races.
We weren't fast enough,
and we weren't. Yeah, so
too inconsistent.
Yep.
Fast here, slow there. Fast here, slow there. That was the story of our first few races.
What changes does Gene done to the boat? Has he changed anything or not really?
We can't tell you,
Parker.
Parker.
A lot of weight out of it, he said somehow.
We can't tell you, Parker. I don't know either. So you'll be the first one to know.
Spilled the beans. RJ just spilled the beans.
Everybody's always trying to dial in their weight. That's not.
Yeah, she's a heavy girl, but maybe that helped us in some areas, especially that Michigan City. I remember talking to Myrick after the race, and I said, "Myrick, I think we saw 151 or 152 down the backstretch." He's like, "You're kidding me." He's like, "We never saw over 139, 140. And I'm like, "Yeah, we kept catching you, and then we got in the corner and didn't know what to do with it.
Gave it all up in the corners.
Yeah. Oh. So Nick kept telling me, "Oh yeah, you got it, buddy. That's a great turn. We're doing it." We're like, like basically like flat track in a 48-foot MTI through, 3 to 4 foot slop swell things, and that boat took it all. I mean, that repair was unbelievable because we put some serious load on that rudder.
Yeah,
serious load on that rudder, and it took it. No stress cracks. It seems like it did well.
No, the boat's awesome. I mean,
so is there any truth to what the South team said last year that only ex-insurance boats lose their rudder? I don't know that I've ever seen anybody else lose a rudder on two boats.
That's a good point.
2 years.
Your first one, the one we're in, did, but after repair it doesn't. And I think these guys are aware of that. But I think the class has changed. I mean, remember, those boats didn't have that kind of power in them before, right? So now they're They're going faster. They have more load on them. It's not like these, besides a couple boats, not like these boats are brand new.
Right.
And so, everyone, now it's a check item, right? Like nonstop check item.
I think it's more of it's probably something that needs to be maintained and maintenance
Every
more.
race, you should look at those because that could cost you everything, right? I mean, South got lucky with those, where they've failed. Good thing it was in a place that didn't cause an accident for them.
Yeah,
because they're pushing hard. So yeah. No, Rick, it is. You get that claim to fame. You are the rudder master.
Yeah, I got nothing to do with it, dude.
Hey, we never
Maybe
had a
this
prop
year you
fly
can
off.
blame me because I'll be in the pits. I'll be cranking on the boat. Then you can say that was the bolt Rick didn't tighten.
Well, you know what's funny is Rick's in Mark Twain. Rick, you got in the class 1 and drove it, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you had full song with a cigar and your hat, the whole thing.
Yeah, don't make me pull you out of the boat, JJ.
I think you got it.
Get him out of there. I'm coming in the game, coach.
I think you got it.
Yeah, right. I'll stick to occasionally driving the turbine boat when you let me. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll be
That
the
was
only
fun.
class 1 boat out there with no roof hatch because we got like the cigar smoke exit.
Yeah.
That's jet fuel. That's not cigar smoke.
Yeah.
That was fun, that last run when we did in Key West in the turbine with Travis and Jim and Rick driving, torturing those guys.
Yep.
And watching them hype it up. We're sitting here like, man, we've been doing this all summer.
Well,
No,
we
the
got
turbine-
the turbine boat
blast.
schedule coming up too. I gotta.
That's what I was going to ask you guys about. How's the boat coming along? I don't know.
I think we
How's
got
our
the
motor?
engine fixed, and we just got to get it back in, and then we'll let you ruin it again.
Yep. We got the motor back the other day. Dad went to Louisiana, picked the motor up, so it's back here at the shop. Probably as soon as St. Pete's over, then we'll go grab the boat, and we're going to get the motor back in the boat. The exhaust is fixed. Seats and all that's still up in Missouri. I think Gene's going to try to bring the seats down for the St. Pete race if the gentleman gets them done in time. And then we get the interior back in it, get the motor back in it, get the truck and stuff at the shop. We're going to put new batteries in the truck and get all the pumps and stuff hooked up so we can carry our own fuel for refueling at the event.
For the turbine, we're going to do that tank in the back, get that running?
Yeah,
That's
it's already
huge.
there. I mean, Bob Bull had that trucked out, and we just got to find all the parts and pieces.
I hate having shit that doesn't work, and if
Me
it
too.
worked, it would be really, that's the perfect truck and everything for that boat. But with half of it not working, that was the way I inherited all this shit. None of it was working, and it was way too much for Gene.
You just take each piece of equipment and you get a list and you knock each one out until they're all done, and then you just maintenance them after that. It's not rocket science. It's a lot to do,
the
though.
schedules is what I was going to talk about is, the race schedule and the turbine schedule that we put out there. They're subject to change. I think there's a couple, the races, I don't think we listed Atlantic City, but we did list Orange Beach, which apparently may or may not happen. And again, as a team, we got to start dialing in on stuff that we know is going to happen. That was the most frustrating thing with St. Pete is everybody's wondering if they're getting the permits. And, from what I hear, I don't know how many boats have registered, but I don't think they can fit like more than 40 or 50 boats with the limited parking they have. So, it always works out somehow, right?
Yeah.
But it's always more comfortable if you're going back to places you've been and you kind of know the lay of the land and how it's going to work. So
they have the same setup, Nick, with the cranes there in Clearwater this year. Do you know about that?
I don't know about Clearwater yet. I know, according to Frank, at the end of last season, they were planning on putting it back there. Everything where the pits used to be. I'm assuming you're talking about Clearwater or St. Pete, JJ?
I was talking about Clearwater, just with that crazy barge and just a lot of boat.
I think
boat
we're
numbers.
probably back in the same area because they don't have anything inland where the other pits used to be. All the property has been sold and built up and stuff like that. So
St. Pete is the same issue, right? I've been craned in there a lot, so
well, St. Pete's over by the airport now.
Yeah.
So, well, you didn't do St. Pete race last year, did you?
No.
Okay, so it's all over by the airport, on the south side of what the pier would have been, where the pits used to be on the north side of the pier over at Vinoy Park.
Mm.
The pits and stuff are on the south side of the pier now over by the airport. So
You didn't race St. Pete either, did you?
no, no, but I
Yeah.
went down there. We took the and so, but it worked out good last year. I mean, it didn't seem crazy busy. I know there are some room restrictions. That's why we can't even put awnings and stuff up this year. I
In
mean, they
St.
restrict
Pete?
us. Yeah, and that they can't have any of the big awnings up. I think they're limited to like a 10 by 10 easy up tent. So I'm trying to accommodate everybody.
I know last year I heard that, with the rain and people on the airstrip, there was a lot of ants going through everybody's stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's nice. Everything's on.
New Orleans is the second race, and then Cocoa Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So the turbine schedule we have, that's pretty much locked in, right? I mean, it's enough events, right? I mean, unless you want to add some stuff. Have
Yeah.
you guys thought about anything
I
else?
think Tickfaw's for sure, right?
Yep.
What about
Pitfalls for sure.
Boyne? I'm not sure we got in there.
Boy, and
did
we're
we?
working on that. I mean, that's amazing that, everybody says Boyan's hard to get into, and I was on the phone, been on the phone. We tried everything we could with them. And at the end of the day, they still was like, you have to register like everybody else. So registration opened, and it was a very odd registration. I've never done one like that. It was, you had to be online. They opened up ticket sales. You had to buy a ticket. And I can tell you, I think the registration opened at 9 o'clock. And I clicked buy the ticket at 9 o'clock, and it come back. It said your request could not be processed. And I clicked back to the site, and there was no tickets available by 9 o'clock in 15 seconds. 15
That
seconds.
one's
There
a
was no
big
tickets.
that one's big. We went to it once, Dad.
Yeah.
We went there once.
So we're still working on it. I've got a lot of friends trying to see if we can get a ticket for it.
Y-
I mean,
So-
again, all of those events that if you
Boyan.
went without a ticket, you could go boating. They can't keep.
That's what I
other
was wondering, Nick.
people
Is there a
off
way you
site.
can? Are they trying to with the ticket? They're worried about your like food and your dock space.
No, it has nothing. It's dock space. They didn't even have room for us. The lady Ingrid was super nice to try to deal with, and we tried to come in as a sponsor. And this was, I'm guesstimating 2 months ago. And she goes, I don't even have any more sponsors spots. Not necessarily docks. She had no place. She wouldn't even take any more sponsors. So that tells you something, that they're not even willing to take any more money. More or less. So
Yeah, they don't want to devalue everybody by them being
correct.
greedy.
And and what I found out later is, I don't quote me on numbers. I want to say it's like 120 boats is max. But if you've already been there prior, you're guaranteed a spot. So at this year, there was only 60 spots came available. And I'm like, how did these people get, I have friends of mine. I'm like, how'd you all get a ticket again? You know what I'm saying? You seem to get it every year. And so we're not ruling it out yet. But
that one's a challenge, and the other ones are
on
good.
the race schedule. Orange Beach, if it's not going to happen, then we would have to pick another IHRA event to go to.
Right.
Because
you got Michigan
get
City, right?
4. Huh?
We got Michigan City though for RWO, right?
Yeah, Michigan City, Clearwater's RWO, and then Key West.
And then Larry's working on some other race, supposedly.
Well, he's got Atlantic City, and that's
no, I mean another race.
Huh?
I heard that he's working on another race as well. So I think you would
so I mean, again, if Orange Beach doesn't happen, that'll go away, and we'll pick another one.
Yeah,
and
I think
maybe pick another one of Larry's too. I don't know.
I think a couple of people I've talked to said that IHRA is trying to put something in place of Orange Beach.
Right. And then they got their worlds, but if you don't go to participate at all their events, you don't collect the extra 25 points. So you show up and you ain't got a shot.
That's the problem.
If you're 2 races down, you're done. 3.
The way that IHRA has done it is they're pushing you to have to do all the events. Unlike before, you could show up to the Worlds and it was a standalone event that it was a fresh start with points. Everybody started even. It's not that way. However, I have heard that because of the way they're going to do the Worlds with multiple races at the Worlds, there's a possibility that you could you could overcome because each race is a different amount of points. So they're trying to do that. Even if you show up at IHRA at the Worlds and you might have missed one or two of their, or call it their national events, you still could do good at the Worlds.
What's their total count, Nick, for their races? They have 8 races and then a Worlds, or
I
7
think it
in a
was
Worlds?
7. I think it's 7 plus the Worlds. I think
So
it's 7 plus the
you'd
Worlds.
have to make at least 6 to feel comfortable, probably, right?
Correct.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, 5, you'd be a long shot in it,
Yes. Yep. But
and
But
then 3.
we can do whatever we want. Let's get to St. Pete and see
Yeah,
how it
Also,
all
let's
comes off, and if it's worth
get it.
the investment, which I look at it. That's as
Smart.
I told everybody, UIM, APBA, Larry, I've always said, we're the circus. We bring everything, the animals, we feed the animals, we make their event better, and so it's an investment of not only money but our time. Is it worth it to go to one of their events? And that's their job, is to make it worth it to go to their events, right?
Oh, it
yeah,
seems like
of course, especially for you, Rick. You got to make sure that it makes
100%,
sense
yeah.
for you.
I mean, IHRA seems to be putting up the stuff that, Rick, this is what you've been wanting, I believe, to try to bring some money into the sport or to the racers. And IHRA seems to be, if all goes as they're talking, yet to be determined. But I mean, they're putting prize money up, they're putting the travel money up, and we'll see if they pull it off. Hopefully, they do.
Well, but I'm in agreement with that 100%. Obviously, Michigan City, while I don't think there's many racers who won't go there because of the experience and the way they're
Experience, yes.
treated, and they don't pay anybody any money.
Yes.
So,
but like you
again,
said,
I
they
think
still
that's
treat you good.
sad. That's sad that the money isn't going to the biggest events, and I think it's sad that not we, but whoever decided to ditch Chicago. To me, that's another disappointment from last year, because we sponsored it, and I think that could be
And it was
beautiful
fun.
venue.
And it was fun.
Great race. But you have to do it for 5 years. That's what I told Larry last year. First year, if you don't do it, you're never going to do it. First year you do it and you get through all that pain. Now you've got the easier land to plow going forward and dial it in, and it has huge potential. So depending on what happens, hell, I don't know. Whatever's possible, it's possible to do one there. And if I could save that alone and just have one event like Larry has Key West, and partner with anybody, I don't care whether it's a Man from the Moon partnership or IHRA or whoever. Again, if you make it a good enough event, they will come. And Michigan City proves that.
Yes, that's a great event. I mean, it's great to see, especially those northern races where not so
nice to get out of here.
Not so commercialized racing. It's the town really comes together and makes you feel welcome to be there, and makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice people up there.
Yep. They're appreciative for you to be there.
I like Sheboygan too. It was fun.
Yep.
Doing that tour at Mercury was fun. Yeah. I stayed a couple days after the race too and just hung out.
You always do. That's because you don't drink,
I
and then
never
all of a sudden after the race, you tie one.
I had to drive home. I had to drive the boat back, so it was a mission. But we just rested one day and got a seat a little different with everybody gone, and it's what a neat little place.
Yeah.
Called the Malibu of the Midwest.
Would say I like I can't talk bad about any of the events I've been at in the last 5 years. Sarasota, they're all good, have great potential. I guess the thing that I dream of now is like a big golf tent on the beach, like at a golf event, right? Where it's actually VIP and has good TVs in there. You can go outside and watch it too. But in most of these Florida events, I mean, look, turn on the Golf Channel or any golf event. They got I don't know how many tents lined up every hole, right? And so there's got to be some old PGA scrapyard of tents where we could get a tent. Then we need another truck and we need another driver and about 8 guys to set it up a week
Yeah.
before and the permits and
But you
but
had that at Michigan City was 2 years ago. That tent was you had
Yeah.
all the VIP. It was beautiful. Well, I think
They
both
have that
years.
they have that every year.
Yes.
It's
It was
really
awesome
nice.
all along the beach there,
yeah.
right
Yeah.
there at the
To
water's
me,
edge.
that's the venue, and again, them taking care
That
of
is
you.
pretty cool.
Chicago, you could do that in those parks with all that stuff there. Key West, it is what it is, right? You go sit on the
Yeah.
rocks, or you go to the mall, or some other, Mallory Square, and that's like the packed location that just regular. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it goes all goes down, and IHRA could be the greatest thing, and everything this sport needs. So we'll go forward, see how it goes.
Remember we were talking earlier, early this year about going because I've been told that a lot of these drag racing events, IHRA and HRA, they really take care of the fans. Like the fan experiences, you can walk through the pits, you can get close to all of them running and doing that, going through their motors and their top fuel stuff. And remember, we talked about maybe going and seeing what that experience is like as a team and seeing if there's things
Yeah.
that we could learn from as
Well,
well,
I
just
don't.
just from our own team's experience for fans and potential sponsors and people that have helped us along the way, or guests or clients of Rick's, stuff like
I
that.
mean,
I
I
mean,
haven't had an experience with IHRA. I went to one NHRA event with Park and went to Tony Stewart and Leah Pit, and that's what they do, right? They make it
Yeah.
a pit experience, and I think that's what our goal is going forward. That's why we kind of want to see, how when we show up, is it possible for us to have enough room to have a
Yeah.
VIP area and a food truck or whatever. I know in Key
There-
West, again, we're going to be very comfortable and able to do that stuff. But again, if we're investing money in like any other event, you're trying to make it special for your guests, VIP for my guests, your guests. That's what we want to do is have people that are part of our team members, businesses, related people, whatever, be able to come to the pit and have an experience. And that's what I saw at NHRA. Right, it's
Yes.
all in the pit. It's them, interacting with the crew and not so much, out. They all could walk out and watch the races, but it's more of a pit experience. And so the more we can make it more customer friendly, more of an event. I mean, again, I used to go to jazz games and spend all kinds of money, and to me, anybody can do that, right? Anybody can take you to the Masters, right? But who can actually do something unique like boat races? And then it's about the event you can put on there, and the promoters actually control that. Sanctioning bodies tell you what you can and can't do. And so, we're going to do our best to keep being a good partner for not only our team, but hopefully the rest of the boats and programs and sponsors that invest in it. And hopefully we work well and it all works out with RWO, IHRA, and anybody else who wants it to work. So we'll see how UIM is now that they're back with the
Right.
ferry.
yeah, I mean, there was plenty of lessons to be learned all along the way, and to capitalize on how to make it better and fix those. I think everybody's kind of shooting for that goal. I mean, seems like a positive year going into it right now. To me, I don't hear a lot of people are excited about RWO. People are excited about IHRA. Everyone has their favorites,
Yep.
and
I mean, there's
and
more
then when
boats in every class, and it doesn't seem like it's fading away. It seems like it's
quality
growing,
teams
and it's a
too,
huge
Yep.
opportunity. And those
quality
people who can
boats.
make the most of it should be rewarded. So hopefully
Yeah,
IHRA makes the most of it and helps us all be the best we can be.
the neat part too is they came in and they weren't shunning away or devaluing the bracket classes. They were all about promoting and helping and bringing all those
Yep.
along from the start, and that was huge because we've always heard oh, brackets, figuring out what we're going to do, and if we get enough boats, we don't want to run them. But these guys came in from the start and were 100% behind the brackets, and that's huge because there's some
Yeah.
quality bracket boats too, and they're a big piece of it. And my heart's in bracket class, so I'm gonna run the 500 boat this year a little bit just to get back to the roots and have some fun with those guys, and it'd be fun to
You gonna
mix it up.
you gonna surprise us in St. Pete with us?
I'm working the best I can right now on it. I'm trying. I'll tell you. I'll tell you on Saturday what we find. But yeah,
Okay,
everything's looking good. I don't know, Nick. It's a 50-50 at best.
gotcha.
But I'd
Well, we
rather
got
have
every
really fresh gear and give us something
yeah,
we can go like do what we do with it. For Cocoa Beach is kind of my shooting point.
right.
But we put it away in almost brand new shape. So
Yeah, yep.
just doing top end stuff. The big block Chevy. If you
Oh
don't
yeah,
if you don't give it attention, it'll make you give it attention. But what about the kids, Nick? Like, so I never really heard the story on with Reese. I know you guys' friendship's been growing, and
yeah.
Manatee Marine's been helping you with the Kuwait boat and getting those kids into that. And I never
Well,
really knew the backstory to all of it. And when did you decide to switch over? And
we put the deal together with Reese back in December for the Quape boat, talking with Julian and stuff like that, wanting to get the kids in this. We looked at the end of last year. Well, Key West last year, I looked at a couple different boats. I looked at the Coco's Monkey boat, um, the Wiz and Craft boat. I was trying to find something to put the kids into for Key West because we
yeah,
talked about this the other day with all the Cat 300 stuff. It didn't pan out.
you were trying to get the 5 boat. You're like, whatever we got
I'm
to
like,
do.
whatever it takes, let's just get something going. Hated to see the kids sit at the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, I mean, so after that didn't happen, I kind of was decided to put the Victory was to me the boat to have. The Doug Wrights are great; they're fast and everything, but they all seem to need updated windows. So there was going to be another
yeah,
expense that was going to incur for the Doug Wright to put the flat panel windows in it. And above all, it's our kids, so we wanted something extremely safe. So the Victory's proven to be the one, seemed to be the one. So the Quake boat came about. It was in Dubai. Reese had it. Him and Julian were going to run it in XCAT over there, and they just got busy with everything going on over here, so never got a chance to do it. So Reese and I put a deal together, and the boat got shipped over, and it just been tied up in delays in shipping and everything else, and then with the wars and all the stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, I said to Reese, I said, man, this boat's not going to make it till April 1st. They're saying now, and which would have put us after the St. Pete race, and which
if
would
you're lucky.
if we're lucky. And then we weren't sure if there was even a possibility to get kids to New Orleans. So I seen the um, Cole's boat came up for sale again. The Ray Marine boat came up for sale. So I reached out to him. And within a couple of hours, Reese was, I said, Reese, what can we do? He goes, Nick, I'll give your money back. He goes, Reese wants everybody to be happy, wants everybody to race. And he's got, his son out there. So more importantly, he knows what JJ and I are trying to accomplish with the kids. And he goes, I'll just give your money back on the boat. So
Yeah,
reached
he's a
out
good
to me.
guy.
He's a great, simple to work with. So put the deal together with Cole, reached out to Rick, and this is what we need to do. And, next thing we know, Cole's boat's on his way from Canada. So the boat's here now. It's going to get wrapped this weekend. Got the new wrap design for it. Motors were shipped from Mercury on Thursday last week, and unfortunately, as of yesterday, they were still sitting in Mercury's parking lot. XPO has not picked the trailer up due to the storms. uh, Due to the storms, so I reached out to Mercury this morning. I'm waiting for an update on shipping. May have to fly some up there and somehow get them in a pickup truck heading back here. But Jeff's over there today. They're putting AIM systems in, and Owen's over there. Owen and Jeff are working on the boat right now.
How's it?
Just
How's it?
going.
I mean, that was a top quality boat, top quality team. How when you got it, were you happy with what you saw?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we got to make some changes because we're putting the new 15-inch midsection motors on it. So Brendan was fortunate enough, or not Brendan, I'm sorry, Trente was great. I said, Sean, I need plates. He goes, no problem. They're coming. He made them. He got them anodized. So he jumped through hoops to help us out there. Reached out to Latham Marine. So we need steering. So we got all new steering rams coming because the 15-inch motors are 2.5 inches further back from the transom. So you need longer steering rams. So it's been some obstacles, but everybody's been great. It's going to happen. Try to get the boat in the water at the beginning of the week, get the kids to get some seat time. Cole's in town. He's got his new boat in town down just south of us here in Bradenton. So he's been like, Nick, whatever I got to do, I'll come up there, run with the kids. So he's been great asset as well.
Do they have seat time? Does Cole and Gary, have they been running the 15s on their new Victory, and have they noticed a nice improvement in handling?
And everybody I've talked to with the new 15-inch motors hasn't seen much of a difference. And I don't know if that's because handling. It's not the speed thing. I don't know if that's the difference because nobody has enough seat time with them yet to really dial them in, or they just, But I think the biggest thing everybody's looking for is try to get the center of gravity a little lower, help it in the turns a little bit. They're nasty sounding, which would be really cool to see a whole fleet of superstars coming by. Sound like big block Chevys.
Because that's what everyone
for the sport. Yes,
it's the number one thing people say.
Yeah,
they love the boats, but they're boring to watch to them. They say these are just regular fans.
Yep, absolutely.
We know it's the exact opposite. They're radical to watch. They're awesome, but the regular fans, they're too quiet for them.
So now this season, you'll see all the super stocks. I mean, I don't know if everybody's getting the motors. Mercury's behind on shipping stumps, so it'll be interesting to see in St. Pete how many have the new 15-inch motors. But I think it'll be great. I mean, the kids, it's going to be a whole new adventure for them. I mean, they say the Victory boat, you can just come into the corner and it runs like a Formula One boat.
Especially with Brendan, so you can work on them trims and all that stuff quick like Sean has, and all those advantages. If you could get them up front, they won't know any different.
They were great. When we mentioned to Rick about moving everything over to the AIM system and bringing Brendan in to monitor all the teams, it's, I mean, he's just a wealth of knowledge. I mean, Brendan's just, he talks in a different language than you and I do. JJ is an engineer. He's very direct, and
I worked with him. Remember?
Yep, he's somebody that you have to put. It's going to be tough for you and I, JJ, or Owen and Cameron, to take criticism. It's like, hey guys, you're not doing this right, and it's what you and I might feel in a boat, and what Cameron and Owen might feel in a boat. Brendan's looking at the data, he's looking at the numbers, and he's going to tell you you're not doing it right, and that's how you grow. I mean, I'm all about tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's where we're at in our program too. We're ready for that next final.
Yeah.
Get ready for final exams.
I mean, there's, unfortunately for all of this, it's, Rick has given us the opportunity to do whatever we need to do.
We need a team counselor to talk you through your mental challenges, JJ.
Oh, you didn't know that? Of course. Okay. We can share, Rick. We'll get a group deal. We can both use it.
We're looking for a counselor.
There's a lot going on at the beginning of the race for JJ and I, with me being claustrophobic and JJ just being JJ, we'll put it that way. At the beginning of the race, before we started, JJ and I were going back and forth. I'm like, JJ, wherever you want to go with the buoy, I'm just operating the sticks over here. You got the steering wheel in your hand. However you want to take the buoy, it's up to you.
But, park that freaking boat right there and wait for that green flag, that yellow to come up. Don't you move it, dude.
Yeah, we go back and forth in the cockpit. It's like, come on, just give us the green flag so we can stop all this.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to be caught slipping at the start. That's for sure.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm super concentrated on that. I don't like giving up any room there. I don't like giving up anything. So we sit on it a lot, and it's paid off a lot if you really look at it.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we've had other people do things to us that null and voided that great position. Yeah, racing. But at the end of the day, it's a great place to be lined up, ready to go early on everybody than behind. As you see, when we get behind, it's bad.
Oh, it's bad.
Or if we get way in front, like Friday, Nick.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I have people go, where the hell were you guys going?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
We took off so fast. I'm like, you think
It's-
anybody's gonna notice? Yeah.
Well,
I think a
guys,
couple boats followed us, right? Like 3 boats followed us for a little
Yep.
while. MCon and yeah. I
that's
heard us
when they
laughing at us.
restarted. Is that what you're talking
Oh
about?
yeah.
Friday, yeah,
Key
we were
West,
like 8 boat
Friday.
lengths out. Yeah.
Hey, you were anxious.
Yep.
Yeah, we were.
Well, I'm anxious for this coming weekend. It's been a long trudge since Key West, lots of activity and movement, and so it should be a good weekend no matter what happens. We'll do our best and bring our best, and appreciate you guys jumping on. Parker's been silent, except he had a couple of questions, but looks like he's working. Maybe.
You got
Well,
Parks.
see you guys at the races. Hopefully, we make it down.
You're not making it now, Parks. He's not coming now.
No, Neil
RJ wants to
and
leave.
Cameron took off in the adventure truck last night. At some point, they're driving.
That's a long
Are they?
drive.
Where
It's
are
like
they heading,
30.
Nick? Are they heading? I haven't talked to Cameron about it. So
I
are they
think
coming
they're
straight
headed
to me or to you, or
They're going to
where's the
St.
truck
Pete.
going?
Cameron's just along for the ride. He doesn't even know what it's
He does
going
not
on.
know. Yeah. Okay.
They're going through Austin to drop what's his name off.
They're
Jason.
dropping someone off in Texas, and then they're going to Florida. I don't know. Cam just along.
Cameron
for the
said he
ride.
was going to take the train, but he had to go to Chicago, and it was like a long layover. So
Cameron was looking at the Greyhound in the train. He said,
I
Nick,
sold my
he should
plane. I
probably
sold
just
my
come over to
plane.
your
Everybody was
side.
waiting to.
Yeah.
Everybody was waiting to jump on the plane, and I told them I sold it. So I don't know how we're getting there. So then they all started scrambling like rats to find a way to get down there.
Yeah, the magic carpet ride's over, boys. Back to
Wow.
coach and the train.
Well,
Nick, so if everything goes smooth for them, they'll probably be landing in your area on a Saturday night, Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure Owen will be talking to Cameron, minute by minute, day by
and
day.
if you want to run on Tuesday, I'm coming there Thursday anyways, and want to run the
Right.
kids. Should we just meet over at your house Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, let's see how this
Do you
weekend goes.
need
with
hands
everything.
on the boat? Help?
I think Jeff should be good.
I mean, I kind of want to be there when they run the boat for the first time. It'd be pretty cool to see.
yeah, 100%.
I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, let's just see how they can make that over the weekend.
Call your kid
Okay.
and drive
Jeff
your
makes
ass
it.
over there and meet him. Don't
I'll
you
do it, no
track him
problem.
on your phone, dude? You don't
I don't
have a
have any of
tracker
that.
on your
I
kid?
don't let them track me, and I don't track them. No,
Well, you don't have to let them track you. They have
No,
to let you track
my wife does
them.
that. My
Yeah.
wife does all that, Rick.
Okay, so she does track him.
Oh yes, they don't got a chance.
Okay, guys, thanks. If we
All right,
need
Rick, thank you
anything
too.
between
Appreciate
now
it.
and then, let's stay in touch, and we'll see you in St. Pete.
Looking forward to the opportunity.
Have a good one, everybody.
See you
Yep.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.